Next, in Section C, students examine the standard and factored forms of quadratic expressions. They investigate how each form is useful for understanding the graph of the function defined by these equivalent forms. For instance, the factored form is helpful for finding the x-intercepts of a quadratic function's graph, while the constant term in the standard form shows the y-intercept. To begin this section, the lessons launch into comparing standard and factored forms by using a graphic organizer to refresh students' understanding about multiplying binomial factors. This presents another opportunity to remediate a skill students may have struggled with previously from Unit 6. Also notice that these lessons focus on the supporting standard 6b, where students are expected to write a quadratic function when the vertex and another point on the graph is given. Since 6b is a supporting standard, be sure to emphasize the connections between the different forms of the equations and what it can tell you about the key components of the graph. This provides another avenue to get at 7a, the key attributes of quadratic functions. In other words, we're going to use 6b about the different forms of equations to support student understanding of 7a, the readiness standard regarding key features. I also want to point out the language of the TEKS for 6b. This standard explicitly expects students to be able to transform from vertex form to standard form, but it does not necessarily expect students to be able to shift from standard form back over to vertex form. This is another reason that Lesson 8's review of multiplying binomials is so important and timely. Students need to remember how to multiply binomials in order to make the switch from the vertex form to the standard form.